Hey guys, and welcome to the Igloo. And today, as I was preparing one of my Apex videos, apparently Fallout 76 dropped a 100-day roadmap for 2019 and everything else, and it seems really interesting. And I've been seeing a lot of people in my Discord, as well as comments and private message. Some people from YouTube have been messaging me about this. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on how, this is actually a really good idea for a lot of things, especially if you are still playing Fallout 76 at this point. So, they released that there's going to be 3 different packs that are going to be coming out of DLC. And the first one we're going to be getting is Wild Appalachia. The second one is going to be called Nuclear Winter in the Survival Time. So, it's going to be a whole new game mode. And then there's going to be the Wastelanders of fall of 2019, where there's going to be all new main quests, events, features, and more. But it doesn't really look like the Wastelanders is completely panned out yet. But the first 2 look like they're pretty panned out, especially for higher level players, especially in the summer of 2019. It looked really promising. So we're going to get into it. So with what has been happening for Fallout 76 and the amount of bug fixes that they've been doing since launch has been very astounding, and to a lot of people it's broken some things even in patch 6, like mutations and a few other things. I covered it in my last video. I'll put it in the cards, so if you want to click it, go right ahead. But yeah, so for what has been the new stuff that's been happening is the Mythical Beast, the Lost Generation of Scouts. So we might be getting NPCs, we might not. I don't think so, but it looks pretty interesting when it comes to the looks of it. The strongest brew of this side of the wasteland. Welcome to the Wild Appalachia, a series of new quests, features, events, crafting systems, and more, starting March 2nd and appearing in over several weeks. So for several weeks, we're going to be having different things that are going to be popping up that are going to be like weekly events kind of thing. And if you complete some of these, you're going to get a new backpack, May 7th, ever upwards, and other things like that. It's gonna look really good when it comes to the extensive roadmap of just the Wild Appalachia section. So it extends from March 2nd to May 7th. When it comes to this slot category. And we're going to be getting a new quest, Sheer Terror. We're going to be getting a new quest called Ever Upwards. We're going to be getting new features, Legendary Vendor, and Scrapping is going to be a whole new thing. So we might be getting legendary mods that we can put on our weapons. So it's saying locate a mysterious purveyor to exchange, scrap your unwanted legendary items for new legendary gear. For every star rating on a legendary item you scrap, you increase your chance to get a legendary weapon or armor of your dreams. So they're making it so that you can have an accumulative process, and you can actually be getting something pretty good for a system. So the more that you factor into the pool of junk 2-star, junk 3-star, legendaries that are going to be there, you might be getting something that could be pretty good. I hope that it pans out to be that way, but again, I have to be very optimistic because we're talking about Fallout 76. So again, I have to be very optimistic about this more than anything else. So again, I'm not gonna I can't do anything until I see it, until I start scrapping a bunch of shit. And I know that this is a great way to just ammo dump things and armor dump things, especially for all the unnecessary junk that's in the game, as well as it's going to help people that have been farming and farming and farming, because as soon as you find this person, you can just give them all the stuff and it'd be fine. It's actually really reputable when you can actually see that kind of stuff. But again, I can't see until it comes out. So Fallout features camp decorating, player vending, and a functional camera are also coming out for Fallout 76. So use the items in your stash to decorate your camp, build vending machines, and flag items for sale. Simply set your price, walk away, and continue your adventures in Appalachia. Being sure to capture all your favorite memories using the new functional camera. The vending machines do all the work, so it'll be probably like the Rust vending machines, but again, I don't know. we're probably going to find out new things that are going to be for the vending machines themselves on top of everything else. Brewing and distilling. So we kind of already have that with some things like sunshine oil, and we can make some things. But, I mean, I'm going to be very interested to what this is. Go to a new quest to discover the secrets of the forbidden brew, Nuka Shine, and bring the party back to your camp with the new brewing and distilling system. So is it going to be a nuke-a-cola, or is it going to be an alcohol? What perks is it going to be affected by, or is it going to still work with it? I don't know. Then it's the Fashat Parade or whatever. I don't know how to enunciate that. So chase away the old man winter and quicken the coming spring with an ancient festival of Fashat. And join the celebration to complete new limited time events to earn unique rewards. So it's probably going to be cosmetics, like the mask and a few other things, but again, I don't really know exactly what's going to be entailed with this reward. But again, for what I see initially out the gate, it sounds promising. It really does. And then the new game mode, Survival. This is a new game mode, brings higher stakes PvP experience, fewer restrictions. They say fewer. They said no restrictions before. Now it's fewer restrictions. Increased rewards, new challenges, plus all the original content of adventure mode. So everything that you have in adventure mode is going to be in the survival mode, except for now they say fewer restrictions. I'm very curious on this kind of setup and how they explain this and everything else. So we also have releases this summer. Nuclear Winter. Now this is what I'm more excited about because it's going to be offering better raids and stuff like that. Kind of what I've been hinting towards that I wanted, like in the main majority of the sense, because I wanted to have like raid bosses like Destiny and stuff like that, especially because like we're talking about tiers of loot in an MMO pretty much, and especially because it's an open world survival game as well. So again, higher tier loot is going to be very optimal, especially in situations. So you're going to be seeing people grind these insanely more than the nuke zones, especially when this Nuclear Winter comes out. So, summer will bring another series of major updates in the fallout of 76, including Nuclear Winter, an entirely new way to play and changes the rules of the Wasteland. So, it's going to be a higher tier like things. There's probably going to be more restrictions. It's probably different settings like that they messed with the base engine and everything else, and they're going to be like, yeah. So, we're going to be having like an entire new game mode, Nuclear Winter, an entire new way to play Fallout 76, completely changing the rules of the Wasteland, probably because it's more challenging, and probably everything has more health. New vault raids. So, again, the vaults will be considered the raids. So, 96 and 94 openings are going to be, for the most seasoned players, test your strength in a new high-level group raid vaults. And then legendary players, all new prestige system will allow players to above level 50 to become legendary, resetting their characters with all new powerful abilities. So we're going to become more powerful by prestiging. How many times are we going to prestige? Is it only going to be once? It probably sounds like it's going to be once. It's probably going to be, if it's only for that Nuclear Winter mode, is it going to be off balance for PvP? Is PvP going to be allowed in Nuclear Winter mode? Like, there's a lot of questions when it comes to it, because it's just like, it should just be PvE if we're going to be talking about that you're making yourself more powerful. When you transfer that character, does that character go on over to the survival servers that are coming out, like, next month on top of, like, everything else, as well as the casual adventure mode on top of everything else, which is, it's so weird. Like, how does this correlate, and how will this help? But the grind will be even more insane when it comes to later tier loot. But, like, what is this appealing to? Can you still be able to have the characters hot swap between worlds and settings and everything else? Or do we have to make a new character? Do we have to have more characters on our database so that we can actually, like, have some, like, legit, like, even playing field when you go to this world, But it doesn't sound like that, especially because it sounds like you are carrying the same character from the Wasteland in survival over there. So it's only going to entice people in Nuclear Winter to go and do Nuclear Winter, do the raid, and then you'll be overpowered in PvP. Especially if you have legacy stuff as well. You can even probably make yourself even more overpowered. So it's going to be very interesting on that end. Because, again, I'm thinking as not only for PvE, because it can make the Scorched Beast Queen a joke, which, again, I think that's what it is. I think Nuclear Winter, we're going to be having, if you nuke Prime, you're going to be getting a different boss. As well as, like, Vault 96 and 94 openings. We're going to be having new bosses that are inside there because they're going to be considered raids. So, or it can be a shit ton of mobs. But again, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be out there that are going to be interesting. But again, I have so many questions for this. I mean, it looks promising. Don't get me wrong. This is what the community is needed. And this is what people were screaming for my last YouTube video, is that people need to actually add content. And because you actually gave us a roadmap, now we know what the hell that you're making. Now we know what the hell that you're doing. So, again, it looks promising. So, we're going to go to the more recent one, with is Wild Appalachia. So, it's going to be like, Welcome to Wild Appalachia on March 12th. Because we're going to be having this on March 12th, that's going to be fine. March 26th, they're going to be talking about the survival stuff. So, that's going to be the next thing. So, we're going to be getting a lot of PvE stuff first on the 12th, and then the new game mode is coming the 26th. Then April 9th, we're going to be getting another quest, and then March 2nd, we're going to be getting the brewing stuff. March 19th, we're going to be getting a new quest, and then April 9th through April 16th, player vending and cameras are going to be there for what they're going to be talking about. And then May 13th, we're going to have the legendary vendor. So until then, and it looks like a mole miner based on the photo. And then like May 7th, we're going to be having ever upwards stuff and backpacks that can increase your carry weight when you're not in power armor. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see all this when it's going to be coming out. But again, like, I have to be optimistic because, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, they still haven't fixed mutations. Like, they broke mutations on top of everything else, and they still have all the perk cards and everything else from my last video that I mentioned that were pretty bad. But again, this is very promising. But I really hope that they don't screw it up to a big extent. I mean, I can see about minor fixes, and then they hot fix it later on top of everything else. I get that. It's a live game service. You're going to be having a lot of fixes down the road, and you're going to try and keep the retention of people and all this other stuff. But again, it's going to be very interesting, and I am looking forward to it. So if you guys like this kind of content, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and have a good one.